How a landscape can, for a moment, change the constitution of your soul. We drove south while the sun came up, and there are places where you feel the edges of yourself slacken. I believe I learned to tell stories from my pop, and I learned to laugh from my mom. A cow can walk up the stairs but not down, so what you've got to do is convince the cow that it's walking up the stairs when it's actually walking down, and thus M.C. Escher painted his stairways. A crow flying over an infinity of wheat. How to write about a vast experience, a thinning of space with hint of solid earth, a pooling of gravity, long, sweeping brushstrokes of time, the Mojave Desert, a thinning of space with rippled dunes and a hint of Joshua trees. The morning sun blows shadows off the dunes like dust from an old book, and a road draws through it all, a line of asphalt, a little black beam through the big pastel American landscapes. Well, here we are road tripping, just stopped in Cedar City and had blueberry pancakes and oh my lord, they were good. And waffles. What we need to do is do this LA trip, Hunter S. Thompson. Why am I so blurry? It's kind of, I'm making it worse. I'm making it, oh, you fixed it, nice. What we need to do is like a Hunter S. Thompson style trip to LA and like just rip through the desert on acid and ether and benzodrine and coffee and marijuana and then just, you know, do the whole trip like that. What do you think? Alright, it's boring. I'm just kidding, I don't condone the use of such interesting and compelling substances. I cannot stop thinking about our waitress at the market cafe, Kaisa, and the chef, Ken, cracked and shucked eggs into a chrome bowl with one hand while chopping hash on the flat top with the other. Somewhere between the clang and clatter of his big silver spatula and the pop of bacon on iron, there was a gypsy music. The chef himself loomed over the stove with a serene, totemic face, his bald head glistening in the light, and his mouth rested open beneath a set of wiry spectacles, pebble blue eyes, country dull behind them. Kind and dim as he appeared, he alone fixed the entire diner, which lacked nothing but an empty table up with a big American breakfast. I got some thick blueberry pancakes with bacon and a smile with downcast eyes from the waitress, but Donnie, who was nut deep in an omelet, and I were in a Miata on the road to Los Angeles. Well, it's anticlimactic, but we just made it to Nevada, and I missed the state line sticker, or the state line sign, but here it is, glamorous Nevada. Look at that. Mesquite, what up? Mesquite! Wait, check it out, just over yonder lies Vegas, yes, over yonder in the blurry space. Yep, there it is, the 8th deadly sin, right there, y'all. Say hello to Las Vegas. Hi, Las Vegas! A few hours later, we blitz across Vegas like a cherry red comet on the interstate, and I look at people sitting alone and still in their cars going 80, 90 miles per hour, hundreds of people alone on the road together. One skinny girl with huge curls of hair and strung out eyes blurred past us, cigarette breath whipping out her window. She looked like she'd been traveling in the big, thin void between somewhere and nowhere for a long time. And I suppose that void is the road itself anyway. She disappeared into the drone of traffic, the footless march, as we passed beneath the gold-brimmed shadow of the President's Tower. And like that, Vegas was rushing toward the vanishing point above us in the rear-view mirror. We had vanished from the city that never knew we were there to begin with, and been absorbed back into the big American desert. Nothing but brambles, sudden, inconspicuous Joshua trees, and the... Nothing but brambles... What the f*** is that word? What's this word? Trees and the Jurassic? That can't be it. Whatever. Ooh, probably take the lens off. Woo! It's bright.
Yeah, it is.
Ah, the Mojave. You can hear the ticking of innumerable crickets and locusts. The infinite yawn of the American desert, out into nowhere. And one Donnie, snapping pictures his matata.
Where are we going, Nate?
Into the yonder.
Dude, let's go say what's up to this Joshua tree.
Yeah, dude, that's a suave Joshua tree, man. This Joshua tree is like, hey, come on out. Come on into the expanse. We've got peyote. We've got mind-opening views. Do you like feeling small? Do you like feeling huge? Well, as a matter of fact, Mr. Joshua Tree, I do. I do like all those things in certain quantities. Ow. Okay, so Joshua trees are kind of sharp. Oh yeah, dude, there's
that sound.
Is it technically a cactus?
Dude, that sounded.
Well, this is like all the bad parts of a pineapple. Like, you know? So not to, I love Joshua trees, but like, what are they for? Is it technically a cactus?
I don't know. You're the one that knows more about trees.
I did read the book once. The book on trees.
Alrighty.
Here we go.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. It's for dramatic.
Yeah, but I'm also covered in dust. I mean, look at my shoes.
Oh, sorry. Well, that might have been because we've been walking around out here. No, it's definitely because of what I just did.
Should we get going?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're looking so fine.
What I was saying? Yeah, dude. Sex appeal.
Oh my gosh, that's just flying inside the car. Nice. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. I know you're kind of a little about it. No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. When we left Park City that morning, it was 29 degrees. We are now in the Mojave where it is 95 degrees. And the march of cars drones on and on endlessly. A mile back, we passed a beater with the windows down and an old young couple bent toward the dash laughing on Zizek's Road. It was sweet. When I see people in the throes of laughter, I feel like a voyeur to their moment of utter forgetfulness, like an audience member to a live Satori, a live moment of the mind forgetting itself to the body's joy at having tricked it, the heart and lungs tap dancing on the belly's bubbling stage. Little towns afloat on the surface of the Mojave, clusters of tungsten glow in the liquid dark of night, knee-deep midnight floods the desert. Together we wade through the pooling shadow of the planet like an obsidian ocean. I think of my girl, the way she is shy when she laughs and my stomach calls for breath from me. We just woke on a sudden Barstow, California. We are the world's organs of perception, its least vital and most precious. When the ballpoint sits in the sun and the ink heats up, oh mama, it feels good to draw words. I wonder how much collective floor space Walmart takes up in the world. Everyone I see is temporary. Everything I see is temporary. I'm told I laugh in my sleep. I don't know what at, but I must be doing something kind for myself. It feels like the Mojave, Joshua Tree, and outward is all in withdrawals from detoxicating itself from Los Angeles, the whole place alet for that city's impossible energy. Donnie and I alone in 1,000 miles of space, each cactus, shredded tire, and gutted house, how displayed by nothing, cataract pools of water and salt, blank spots on the mind, Diane DePrima. Sound, your voice vanishes into nothing so fast here, the edges of you thin, the wind a direction from nowhere. Here you can see time, my sandals 10 feet away, minutes ago, suspended in the air, the space in the air. I am here and I am there. This place too could kill me. We find a vein of blue-green water rippling beyond the silence, beneath the silence. I think all the silence in the Mojave Desert emanates from this green pool and its soft folds of sunlight. Then we see black railroad cars like a line of ants across the road, drifting sand like sideways curtain of rain, like a waterfall across the road. A sign, slow down, it's tortoise season. Then we find a penis rock, a rock that looks like a penis. All these boulders take shape of shapelessness while the wind plays the reed of power lines, the shape of shapelessness. ID tags on desert plants chime against rebarb and chicken wire, a small song in eternity. Just spent the morning watching the sunrise over the Mojave Desert.
So beautiful here. The place is really beautiful. Yeah, it's a super nice area though. I like being able to see the mountains. I don't know if you'd be able to see it in the camera, but the mountains.
Yeah, and they become silhouettes behind like curtains of haze. It's really pretty. Only a few bugs in the bed.
We spent the night at a place called Harmony Inn. It was quaint, in a little sand orange room with 2 beds and a ceiling fan. Totally silent. Didn't see one tortoise. We argue about the best way to treat one's feet. Donnie says shoes, but I think bare feet are superior. In the town of Prim, the casino Whiskey Pete's is bigger than the town of Prim. The Mojave is serene, quiet like standing at outer space's doorstep, and the stars are just as close. At times, you will stare at the moonlit silhouettes of Joshua trees until it seems they are silence itself, matter divorced from sound, and with it time, and within it you. Beneath the silence, you breathe in a vacuum. Your life will not end. Traces of the sun's heat rise like breath from the ground, the desert breathing in its sleep. Its dream, the constellations. It dreams all the empty space in between. It dreams the shallow atmosphere. It dreams the pop-up towns and endless power lines like threaded crosses, and it dreams you. All of it swells in you like a drop of dew, little thinking, feeling thing, and you experience the desert, and the desert experiences itself through you. The Joshua trees stand in the fabric of your imaginations. The dunes crest along the arc of your memory. You are memory. You are the memory of this place, and this place is the substance of your memory, life. These gentle fighting things decay in the sand as the sand shoots them sunward. You are invisible to the motion of this place, a lick of hungry electricity on its fingertips. You are happening to this place as it is happening to you together, and a gust of wind, a gust of warm wind, comes a direction from nowhere and draws you from this place, and you notice you've grown bored in it. And you drift back to the hotel room where it is cool and a TV sits on the wall.
Dude, it's kind of cool, the barbed wire up there. I've always liked barbed wire.
Yeah.
His voice. This rock, quite beautiful. It's red. It's misshapen. Looks like God was on acid while he was inventing this particular landscape. He's like, you know what, let's have a bunch of wind come through here and just turn that into a boat, like a big sideways boat. What do you think? Little pockets. Hey. It's saying hello. Hi. I'm a big rock formation. Oh, let me teach you about wind erosion. It's high all the time, except when it's not. This big, long, intermediary advertisement has been brought to you by 5 Gum, our sponsors. We're actually not sponsored by 5 Gum.
My dad, no, we can't read that one. The little, that's pretty funny. I think that's it. The smell of corn is like rain falling upward. The smell of corn cooking is like sweet rain. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Cool. Road journal. That's the road journal. Cool. Pretty artsy.